Hi everybody, I'm John, and today I'm going to show you a way of making artisan bread at home that's so simple, even I can do it. First, I'm going to start off by showing you all the things that you're not going to need. A lot of times people are afraid to try their hand in making bread because they think they need a lot of specialized equipment. Mixers, dough rollers, proofers, and especially a really great artisan bread baking oven that injects steam into the process to give you the textures that you want and the color that you want on a perfectly baked loaf of artisan bread. You don't need any of that stuff, and I'm going to show you why. So here's what you do need. Measuring spoons, a big stirring spoon, some measuring cups, and a big old bowl to mix everything up in. That's it. That's all you need. If you've got those things in your house, you can make an artisan loaf of bread. And I'm going to show you how right now. We're going to start out by pre-measuring all of our ingredients so that everything is lined up and ready to go once we start the process. Now, this no-knead bread is really hydrated, so it's a really wet dough, so you don't need any mixer to put it together. All we're going to do is put it in the bowl, stir it up, and let it rest. So we'll start out by putting the water in the bowl. We're going to add our yeast. I'm going to stir that up until the yeast dissolves. Once the yeast dissolves, we're going to add our flour. I'm going to put the salt on top of the flour. Then all we do is take that big old spoon, stir it until everything comes together, and it's just a loose mix, what we call a shaggy mix, so it's going to look kind of craggly. Now you don't have to overmix it because the biological action of the yeast is going to do all of your development for you. So it's going to look like this, and that's it. Once you've got the dough together, you're going to cover it, and then comes the hard part. You're going to let it rest for 18 hours. The hardest part of this process is having the patience to let nature do its work. The fermentation is going to develop all the characteristics in the beautiful loaf of bread that you're looking for. To color, texture, flavor, the fragrance, it's all going to be there if you just let the yeast do its work over time. So we're going to let this shaggy dough sit in the bowl for 18 hours before we shape it and bake it. Okay, so now we're back after 18 hours. Hopefully you've had the patience to wait, and we're ready to take that dough and bring it to its final stages of development and turn it into a beautiful artisan loaf of bread, so simple that even I can do it. Your dough has risen for 18 hours, and it should look something like this. So now the dough is relaxed and ready to bake. We preheated the Dutch oven for 30 minutes in an oven at 450 degrees. We're ready to drop it in, cover it, and put it back in the oven. After a 30-minute bake in the oven, you're going to take the lid off, bake it for an additional 15 minutes until it's dark brown, and you're done. I know it's going to be tempting, but don't cut into this bread for at least an hour because you want to let the flavors fully develop and let it cool down on the rack before you're ready to go.